So now this segment of our discussion turns into Ask Roulette. So I have a host of questions that were submitted through the Gray Hair booth, who's sponsoring this little, shindig, and I'm going to ask the panelists. Some are, personal, but not scary personal, just personal questions. Whereas other ones are kind of postal related. So we'll throw it back and forth.
We'll see how this goes.
And feel free to
add a question that's not in our hands.
Throw something in there. So, what is the biggest success story at the NPF right now?
Sharon?
SpiderMan!
Yeah.
For those that weren't here this morning, we had SpiderMan at the keynote opening session, and he delivered the award to Discover. That was pretty cool.
So to put SpiderMan in context, the Postal Service is doing a co-branding campaign with Sony Pictures for the new release of the Amazing Spider-Man movie. We have a postal truck in the back that's wrapped with Spider-Man images. We are getting priority mailboxes with Spider-Man on it. The Postal Service is designing a really cool mailing campaign around priority mail and the Sony Picture Spider-Man, where we're going to embed videos and pictures of the advertisement in a piece of mail, really using those best practices that we've talked about to keep mail interesting. And then the Postal Service will be using the big data and going back and tracking the results and the response rates to understand how the campaign works. So that is the context for Spider-Man.
Give it to you to say that. Go ahead.
So who will win the NCAA basketball tournament?
I don't know.
I don't know. Who's got a favorite college team?
I don't know. I don't even know who's in. Have they done the brackets?
I think those are done, I think.
All right, then I'm going to go Duke, because that's hands down easy.
Everybody always says Duke. That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Florida, I think you can pick Florida.
Arizona,
I think they're in there.
Virginia, I think has number one seed in one of its.
I hear Michigan State won, and so that's a favorite.
There we go.
College I went to was out of business, so.
How do I deduce my
Reduce.
reduce. It looks like
Yes.
D. That looks like
I
a D.
know.
Reduce my postage costs.
Wow. There's lots of ways to reduce your postage.
I think discussing
The
with a
first thing has to
consolidator
do with data
probably,
quality.
Yeah.
Start at the very beginning. The first thing is, are you making sure that all your records have a full delivery point on it? And there are a number of tools available outside of just CAS that can allow you to take care of those bad addresses.
Schimek-Satori does it, and Gray Hair, the parent company software, does it, and lots of providers over it.
And you see,
AMSP
my point would be you can't just you got to look at postage. Sure, it's a huge chunk of your total cost, but you can't just look at the cost of postage. If you're delivering an unattractive mail piece to a terribly managed address list, no one's going to give you a response rate. I don't care how many discounts you get. So if you want to look at the whole cost of getting your message from somebody's head into a recipient's hand, you have to look at all those things, in addition to smart postage, getting all your discounts for destination entry and so forth.
Right.
And from the morning session today, what does the change in move update assessment mean?
Well, I'm not sure. But, when I was there, I was sitting there interpreting and thinking that basically what's going to happen is that letters are going to emulate parcels. Right now, if there's a move update error, it's happening on a job basis. And I'm interpreting that as meaning that in the future, you'll have 1 month worth of mailing. All your jobs will be sort of averaged together. And then there'll be an assessment if there's an issue.
Right.
Okay.
See you then.
What else have we got on?
How long until USPS will add a new regulatory database, i.e. LACS?
Do you have an idea about that?
No, LACS. That's been around for a while.
Yeah,
and that's
ongoing for years and
locatable
years.
address corrections. I think it's the locatable address correction service. And what it essentially does is it translates. The example I used for Sharon a little bit, it was like rural Route 3, box 15, into a traditional city-style street address. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
P.O. Box street
Smith
address.
Road.
We do.
Oh, so you want a database on it now?
No, not
These
P.O.
were
boxes.
that were
Rural
specific
boxes.
to emergencies.
The
So not
911.
911, but 911.
Right.
So if an ambulance had to come to your house,
They
and
couldn't
you
go to
lived
rural
on
Route 3,
rural-
box 6.
Yes.
They had to go to a specific address. So there was that.
Yeah.
This goes back several years ago.
Right.
And I'm not
And
sure if
these are like in small little podunk towns, right? Because
It's all
right?
over the country.
It's all over the country.
Not New York City.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Was it a federal law or state law? I'm not sure. It was not a postal service
There were
thing.
state
It
laws
was
that the Postal Service was
legislated
trying to
by.
catch up, as I recall.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is a slightly different question. I think they're asking how long until the Postal Service adds another new type of database similar to LAX. Like, have we heard of the Postal Service having another data set that would be built in? So, for example, Cash Cycle O is going to be coming in 2015.
I see.
Is there going to be a new database associated with that? As far as I know, the answer is no. I guess the question would be, is there other pieces of Postal Service data that if they made available to the industry that would help improve address quality?
Well, I thought geofencing would be the thing that they're working on next that might be useful, but I don't know if that's relevant to the question.
All right. On our last question, probably one of the more interesting ones, is what will happen with lawsuits over barcodes?
Lawsuits mean the patent troll thing?
I think the patent troll thing, yes. So for those that don't know, there's this big hubbub within the industry of certain folks claiming that they have the rights and that the rights over certain types of barcodes.
Like the Intelligent Mail barcode.
And that if you use it or have used
Or
it,
like the QR
you
barcode.
should pay them their copyright
The royalty.
fees
A
in
licensing
order
fee.
to use it.
Right.
And first it started off with the QR code, which was a promotion the Postal Service ran. Now it's starting to be extended through full service. From what I understand, again, all background, is that no one has really challenged it. A couple folks have paid it to make it go away, but that no one has challenged this individual or his rights in law as of yet. I believe that the couple are banding together to do such a thing.
I thought that Cameron Bellamy, the owner of GrayHair Software, was challenging.
Yeah,
Okay, so he would be the first. So I would say he would be. So he would be one of the first, because I know I can name some very big people on this exhibit floor that have written the check. So, with that being our last question, I would like to thank the panel for participating in today's conversation and enlightening folks that couldn't be here. And obviously, being here is worthwhile, and we highly suggest it for next year. To be in Anaheim, which will be nice weather and West Coast feel to it. So, we recommend coming next year if you're able to. But thank you, everyone, for participating on today's discussion. And I believe GrayHair will do a few more of these.
Absolutely.
So definitely take a look to see what other topics are discussed during them.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.